Welcome. So today we're going to be doing a cleaning experiment on an old school bell. What we're going to be doing is I'll show you the bell as it sits in its current condition, and then we're going to go ahead and section it off into 8 different sections, and then we're going to try 8 different swing patterns to see how effective the different patterns are on cleaning the bell. I will tell you that this is going to be on a 300 watt pulsed machine. My machine's from LME Lasers, and I can tell you that 3 out of the 10 swing patterns are screwed up from the factory. I've only had the machine a few days. Today is Saturday. I will be sending them videos Sunday evening, which would be Monday morning their time, and see what they do to get it corrected. 2 of the patterns that are screwed up we'll use today in the experiment. I don't know that the camera will pick up one of them, but it should pick up the other one and how the square is not a square. But we'll get into that, and we'll now take a look at the bell in the current condition. We'll get it taped off, and we'll start the experiment. All right, so here's the bell. It's been well weathered, and then we'll use some painter's tape, section it off into 8 sections, and then see how the different swing patterns affect the cleaning ability and the efficiency of the laser. Be right back once we get this all taped up. Here's the laser machine. It's an LME laser. It's the trolley style, 300 watt pulsed. All right, so here's a little addendum to the video. When this video was first produced, I'd only had a laser a few days, so I wasn't real familiar with the patterns, the settings, all that. Now that I've been using it for quite a bit longer, there's a lot of different settings that I would have used to try and get a better result. I think I would have stayed with the 20 kilohertz and 500 nanoseconds. I would have stayed with those patterns to give me, the most power. But if you remember in the video saying about how some of the patterns are screwed up or don't work right, well, come to find out after I contacted them, because the speed was set to 35,000, it's too fast for those patterns, and therefore it screws up those patterns. So the line, when it goes up, is one length, and when it comes down is another. If you slow down the speed, it keeps them the same. The square, that when it spreads out, it folds in on itself. When you slow down the speeds, it corrects that also. The other pattern that I didn't use, once you bring the speed down, it corrects that and makes it usable. So it was an easy fix, but I didn't know it, so I wasn't familiar with it. So enjoy the video. Go in knowing that after the fact, a lot of those settings I would have done differently, probably made them smaller. The swing patterns to give me more of a focused cleaning. But either way, you can kind of see a bit of the difference between different swing patterns on the exact same object in real time. Yeah, it's kind of long. I get it. If you watch all the way through, thank you. If you skip through it, I understand. Go ahead, enjoy. Any comments or criticism, feel free to put it down in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to read it. If you've got pointers, please share them. Appreciate any feedback you can give me. Thanks. Enjoy. All right, so the first pattern is a straight line. The machine is actually doing the swing on it. If you notice, as the line goes up, it's longer than when it comes down. That's one of the screwed up parts. Software programs, whatever it is inside this machine, it's not correct. It should be the same length going in both directions. But here we go. What we're going to do is a 2-minute timer and see where we're at after 2 minutes. As you can see, when it hit the blue, it just completely fizzled out. You could take that as you want. A lot of people are talking about the Lanai fires and blue roofs. I don't know, but as soon as you go to blue, it just completely dies off. We got 25 seconds left. All right, that's 2 minutes. All right, the next one we're going to go to will be the spiral. Let me get that set up and we'll come back to you. All right, so here's the spiral. We'll set the 2 minute timer and get going with it. There's the 2 minutes on that one. That looked pretty effective. Looks like it did a little more cleaning work than the straight line that sweeps. I like that one. That was pretty good. Next one that we're going to do is going to be, they call it a sawtooth. So the next one we'll try is a sawtooth. Be back for that in a minute. Alright, so here's the sawtooth. And if you can pick it up, that's what the sawtooth pattern looks like. Start the 2-minute countdown. Doesn't seem to be doing much. I'm not sure what material you'd want to use this pattern on. Like I said, I'm new to this. Kind of learning as I go. But this doesn't look like a good pattern to use on rust removal. Maybe it's better for maybe removing stain from wood. But it doesn't appear to be doing too much on this bell. About 15 seconds left. There's the 2 minutes. Doesn't look like it was very effective. It did some, but not as much as the spiral did. So the next one we'll try are the 2 solid lines. You'll see one will run down, then the next one will run over. Similar to the first solid line you saw that just went up and down, except this makes a basically a square box. So we'll get to that one next. Alright, so here's the next pattern. So you can see it's kind of a cross pattern. Let's see how this one does. Set the timer. Got about 45 seconds left. There's 2 minutes. It did all right. Still think the spiral so far looks like it's done about the best. The next one after this is kind of an infinity pattern. I think this will do really well. I think it'll do as well as, if not maybe better than the circle. I think it'll be close. When we come back, we'll see how it does. All right, here's the infinity pattern. It's kind of a spiral. Let's see how this one does. We get the 2-minute timer going. So you can see that did a pretty good job removing compared to a lot of the other ones. I think it's pretty close to how the spiral did. I think it did really well. Let's go to the next one, which is going to be a box that closes in on itself and comes back out. This is going to be another one of the swing patterns that's screwed up. You'll see it goes from a box to like some kind of rectangle, rhombus, parallel, I don't know. But you'll see when we show the pattern that something's just not right about it. So be right back, we'll get that one on. All right, so here's the swing pattern of this one. It's supposed to be a square, but if you look as it goes to its largest size right at the end, the two corners fold in on themselves. Shouldn't do that, it's not right. Hopefully it's an easy fix. Maybe we'll find out Monday or Tuesday. Here we go. See how it gets wonky when it comes to being fully opened up. But it appears to be doing pretty good at removing the rust. Yeah, I forgot to set the 2-minute timer. I think we're pretty close to 2 minutes. That did pretty well. I wonder if it would have, how much better it would have done if it wasn't screwed up as far as the pattern. But I don't know how well you can see on the camera, but it did fairly well. The next pattern is going to be a rotating flower, if you will. I also think this might be a pretty good pattern. I haven't really used it much yet, but we'll see how that one does next. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a spinning flower. Spinning flower petals, maybe. Not exactly sure what it's called. I probably should know this. Let's go ahead and start the timer this time. Just a second. Doing really well. Seconds left. I think this one might have done the best so far. There's 2 minutes. That did really well. Right on par with that, if not maybe a little bit better than that. Same thing with this one. I think that one may have done the best. It's pretty close between 3 of them. So the last pattern that we're going to try is a crosshatch pattern. We'll see how that one does. We'll be back once we get it set up. Okay, here's the last pattern. This is like a crosshatch pattern. We'll see how well it does. Let's set the timer. Seems to be doing fairly well. I don't know that it's doing as well as a couple of the other ones, but it's not bad. I don't know how well you guys can see the red dots, but those red dots, when they come together, that shows you what your focal point is. That's where all your power is. So you hear it get kind of quiet as you get out of focus. So you want to keep those red dots joined to give you the most power. There's 2 minutes. It didn't do too bad. I don't think it didn't do as well as the rotating flower petals or the infinity sign. But let's go ahead and pull this tape off, and we'll take a look at these, get a closer look, and see how the different patterns did on this bell. Okay, so for a wrap up on this, the spinning daisy, the circle, and the spinning infinity symbol appear to all do the best. The sawtooth doesn't appear to really have done anything, so you can see there. Your straight line that swings didn't do too bad. Your crosshatch did mediocre, but the spinning daisy and a circle and the infinity symbol, I think, are the top ones on this. Now keep in mind, I do understand a 300 watt pulse laser isn't ideal for this. If you were doing this, you'd have a lot better results with, say, a 1000 watt pulsed laser or a 3000 watt continuous wave laser. Those would do a lot more cleaning in a lot shorter period of time. I chose to go with a 300 watt pulse because that's the largest wattage you can do on a pulsed before it goes to 240. So this is able to be plugged into your standard 110, 120 outlet without having to go up to a 240 outlet. So I do understand this isn't the ideal laser for completing a task like this. This happened to be my neighbor's bell, and I just need items that I can try the laser with and figure out what works best in what situations. So I'm pretty new to this. I've only had this laser for a few days now, and I'm kind of learning how to use it, different settings. On this, I set the width on the laser at, I believe it was 60 millimeters for all these. You can go down to, I believe, 10 and all the way up to 110 on the width of the pattern that you're using. Obviously, a smaller width will be more focused into a single area. And the reason I chose 60 is because it was basically the size of the gap in between the strips of tape separating the different sections. But hopefully this gives you an idea of what a 300 watt pulse laser will do on a cast iron or iron bell. Like I said, it's not the ideal setup for this type of item, but it will get the job done. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.